Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there. Hope everybody's having it. What is this? Monday, right? This is our Monday show. TGIM? Eh, Tigum? Is that a thing? I don't know. Thank God it's a day. Thank God you woke up and uh, it wasn't the opposite of not of waking up, because that's not waking up. And then you wake up in a hospital and you're like, why am I here? And they say, you won the game of life or something like that. I don't know. I never go to the hospital. How are you guys today? I'm Monkey had two falls today. None down the stairs. Don't worry about that. One was just my knee went out and I fell in the kitchen again, banged up my ass and my elbow. And it actually made me laugh a little bit because I'm like, there's the old saying, that person doesn't know their ass from their elbow. I definitely did today. My ass is about what 8 inches lower than my elbow. I could tell because there was a pain in each of them. But then I was leaving my bedroom, coming into my office, and my knee hit a basket, a clothes basket that's in the hallway there. And I tried to catch myself, and that just made it worse. And I fell and I banged my head against the closet door. And that's why we're at this time, because I had a headache, y'all. A fucking headache that just would not quit. It's still not gone completely, but it's good to where we can actually talk now. So for those who normally watch this at like 11 p.m., I apologize that it's this much later. It's not late because the show is never late, but it is later than normal. We're going to talk about Biden, and we're going to watch his speech from the other day because he finally took his ass after almost it's over 50 years now, right? In Washington. He's been in Washington all this time, and he finally took his ass down to the border today. Finally took it down there. We'll get to that in just a little bit. He made a immigration speech the other day, and whoo boy, we'll check that out. But before we do that, I just wanted to share this for the people who hadn't seen it. You guys remember this guy, right? The January 6th shaman. Y'all remember him? He got arrested. He's going to go into jail for a few years. Well, this is down in Brazil. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to Brazil. I'm be upfront with you. I don't give a shit. Not one. If somebody paid me $100, I would feel bad if they said, care less about Brazil, because I could not care less if I was paid to. I don't give a shit. But for those of you who do, what's going on is Bolsonaro lost the election, and he fled to Florida. He's actually hanging out here in the United States right now. Julian Castro, what's his brother's name? Joaquin Castro or whatever the hell it is. He's like, we need to deport him. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But his supporters are down there pulling a January 6th. They're rushing government buildings and shit. And they have their very own shaman, except for he's more of a Native American kind of looking shaman. He's got the feathers and shit back here, where our shaman had the Viking look. This dude has the Native American, the Indian look. Feather, not dot. Eagles fan. I mean, I guess he's got the yellow though, so that's more of the Packers, right? Oh man, the Packers lost. They lost to the fucking Lions, who've been on a tear at the end of the season here. But the Lions played spoiler today and kept the Packers from going to the playoffs. Not that any of you guys care about football. How do I have an audience that doesn't give a shit about football? I don't understand how that happened. But anyway, yeah, this is the only thing I care about, honest to God, when it comes to the whole Brazil situation, is that they have their own shaman like we had. I just think it's funny. I hope you do too. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about before we get into the deeper stuff? I don't really know. I don't remember what I was doing today. I don't know if I did anything today. This is not the right account to be looking at. I got to go over to my cousin's account and see what was going on. I'm rooting for the Chargers to win the Super Bowl. I'm rooting for the Chargers to at least get past the Jags, and then after that, I doubt that they're going to do much. They have all of the talent to do it. They never have the close. I don't know why they can never close. Ugh. Anyhow, let's see. No, don't care about that. We're just doing a cursory look here. Oh, I guess we can talk about this real fast. Libs of TikTok put this out earlier today. Put this up on the screen for you. It's more of the same nonsense, you guys. Scoop, New York City middle school principal confirms in an email that the school offers the pornographic book, This Book is Gay, and have no plans to remove it. The book teaches kids about gay sex and encourages the use of sex apps. This is what they're giving to 12-year-olds to read. Keeverdam, thank you so much. Hopefully you don't have a concussion from hitting your head. Also, Camel posted the slabs in chat. Oh, thank you. I didn't see it. It happens. I miss things. We'll pin that to the top. You guys can watch me do it. There you go. Thank you, Keeverdam. I appreciate it. And thank you. All right. Oh, over on the Streamlabs, speaking of that, it's got to load, and then I'll tell you what it says. It's like a secret to all of us right now. Don't thank you, Shio. Feel free not to read today's 1-year anniversary of Mom's passing and could use a good joke. I've been told it gets easier. Sympathy from all, but that does shit. Viking fan for life. You want a joke? I mean, you said Viking fan for life. What can I say that's funnier than that? Cheers to your mom, man. I know the whole thing. People try to give you advice when somebody dies or something like that. Like it'll get easier. It is true. It is true. Time heals all wounds, they say. The problem is time doesn't heal all wounds. Time just makes scars. You know what I mean? And the scar might not hurt as much and it might not be as visible, but scars never go away. And that scar is always going to be there, my friend. But it does get a little easier. I counted. It was probably almost 25 years after Mom's death that I stopped. I guess memorializing it. I didn't do anything. It was just it would when that day would come up, it would just hit me hard. And yeah, it was like 25 years, man. It does get better. I promise you it does. As for a good joke, I will do my best. But again, I mean, you're a fucking Vikings fan, dude. Anyhow, so this is what they're showing to kids. Good evening. As a parent, you have every right to monitor what your child is reading. Parents have very different opinions on what is appropriate for their children. Tell your child that you want to read certain books first to see if they are keeping in your family values. When you say you're at war every day, I'm wondering if you are referencing to the exposure your child is getting to people and ideas that are new and different. Book about gay sex, y'all. For kids. This is a public school and the children will be continually exposed. That is not a good way to write that. With what's been going on in the world today, especially in the United States, as a school principal, you should not read or write that you are continually exposing children, because we know how you guys like to expose children. Keep their clothes on, please. It doesn't mean that they will have to agree with everything they are learning or seeing. Yes, it does. Yes, it absolutely does, because you guys are teaching them that. And if they disagree with it, then they're wrong. Then they get in trouble. Then they get marked down grades. How you teach it to them, and then they disagree with it, and you still give them a good grade, huh? They at least have to fake it for you, right? Like they do when you expose them. In fact, they will be taught to question, analyze, expand their horizons. Bullshit. They will be taught this is right. This is right. We do have This Book is Gay in our library catalog, and we have no plans to remove it. Elena Elster. Now, I don't know how much trouble we can get in for showing this. We're going to put this over there, and a little shield for the penis here. But part 1, boy on boy sex. That is in a school library for 12-year-olds. We've seen this book before. We've read part of, well, we didn't read. I think we watched a woman read it. I don't know if we ever read it ourselves. We're going to get this off the screen because it's just gross. But I will throw this link in the chat for you guys if you want to check that out more yourself. You can look it up. It's called This Book is Gay. And it is one of the books that a mother went to a school board meeting and read from. And she was asked not to because it's nasty. We can't have that read here. It's inappropriate around adults. It's inappropriate around adults, but we're going to have it for 12-year-olds. You know, because it's appropriate for them. So there's that going on in the world. All right, let's take a look at the president's speech from the other day, shall we? We're going to move on to the immigration thing and the border. We haven't done a deep dive on the border in a while. And we're going to tonight. I'm going to bore the shit out of you guys with border talk until I get it out of my system. This book is grooming. Yeah, that's what they should change the name to. How the fuck they got a book for 12-year-olds that says Chapter 1, boy on boy sex? How you got a book in your school library that you're not allowed to read out loud at a school board meeting? How? How do you justify that? No, oh, look, you're trying to do book burning. No. I'll tell you truthfully, I don't care if that's in a public library. If it's in a public library and that's how they want to have it, fine. If you don't like it, keep your kid from checking out that book. It shouldn't be in a school library. School libraries are not the same. It's not where you put everything. Everything's fine in here. And I can prove it. None of these motherfuckers want Penthouse Forum in there. Actually, some of them probably do. But that makes the point. If you're like, oh, you can't burn any books. This is literally teaching. It's telling kids to go to like Grindr, like Yoel Roth did. It's telling them how to hook up with other, well, let's be honest, it's telling them how to hook up with men. And they put this shit in school libraries and they're like, there's no problem with this. But then you try to read it at their school board meeting, like, hey, that is inappropriate. How it inappropriate? And in the one, they're like, it's inappropriate because there's kids here. I've only seen that once, and all of the other times they just say it's inappropriate. Like, okay, there's kids here, and it's inappropriate. Are you making the connection? Are you figuring it out, dumb fuck? All right, let's get on to our president and his speech on immigration the other day. Let's bring this up on the screen here, and here we go. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, guys. This is Bill Clinton from 1995. My bad. Well, let's see what Bill had to say about some illegal immigration 28 years ago. This is from the State of the Union address, and I don't know the exact date, but it would be early in the year. So we're talking literally 28 years ago, maybe off by a month. 28 years ago, this is what Bill Clinton was talking about at the State of the Union address. Americans, oh, no audio? Damn it. I forgot to hit the button. Well, I'm going to tell you what he said anyway. We'll go back. I'll rewind it so you guys can hear it yourself.
All Americans.
All right, can you hear that? And thank you guys for telling me no sound. I apologize. Can you hear it now? Did you hear the all Americans he just said? Da, 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 da. Anyone?
not only in the
Good now. Thank you, Blazin. All right.
states most heavily
Little
affected,
quiet. I think it's up as loud as it can go. So that's going to have to be something you deal with your own audio. Sorry about that.
all Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country.
Well, here's the thing. We don't have illegal aliens anymore. So I guess we took care of that problem. We got rid of all the illegal aliens by changing the name of them to migrants. Like, they migrants, y'all. They migrants. No, they're still illegal aliens. Everyone in the United States, not just the people on border states, are rightfully disturbed by the huge numbers of illegal aliens. Bill Clinton, 28 years ago.
The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants.
They
The public
took their
service they use
jobs. I had to do it.
impose burdens on our taxpayers.
Yep.
That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards.
How'd that work out? We got record numbers of illegals still coming in. I mean, we're setting records month after month. This is Bill Clinton 28 years ago talking about the problem. But sorry about that, guys. I meant to bring up the Biden one. That's my bad. That is my bad. Let's get the Biden one. Make sure I got the right one here. Shit. Sorry about that, guys. We're gonna watch he just gave his speech the other day. I want to make sure we hear it. So here's the president from the other day.
The system's still broken. And to truly deal with this issue, Congress needs to act.
Oh, shit. My bad. This is Obama from 2013. This is 10 years ago. Where it's like, oh, man, we got to fix the problem. My bad. That's my mistake, y'all. My mistake.
And that moment is now. This week, the Senate will consider a common sense, bipartisan bill that is the best chance we've had in years to fix our broken immigration system.
Got to fix it.
It will build on what we've done and continue to strengthen our borders.
No, it won't. No, it won't. And no, it didn't. Nothing you guys have done has strengthened our borders. That's not it. Not at all. So let's look at the actual Biden one. I thought it was funny to do that. I apologize. I know those were cheap jokes, but I mean, come on. How could I not? Biden's going to come up here and tell us how he's going to fix the border. And it's literally the same bullshit we've been hearing for 28 years. And it actually goes further back than that. It goes further back. Reagan was dealing with this shit. Reagan gave amnesty. How'd that work out for us? That was supposed to take care of the problem. We're going to have amnesty and close up the border. How'd that work out? Reagan hasn't been president since January 20th of 1989. So, I mean, it goes that far back. And I'm sure it goes further back than that, but honestly, I haven't dug. I'm sure Carter had this problem because it's not like it just invented itself when Reagan got in there. This shit goes back to before I was born, for fuck's sake. And nobody's been willing to have the balls to say, get the fuck out of our country. Stop coming here. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's actually watch Joe here. Let's watch Joe and his statue in the background, President Harris. I only call her that because he calls her that. Now, I did find this on CBS. I couldn't find it anywhere else. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't look that hard. But I'm only telling you that because CBS cuts to watch this and the bitch talks over Biden for the first couple of seconds here. I'm so sorry about that. I probably should have looked around and found a different video, but it's really unimportant.
The president is expected to announce new measures aimed at slowing the flow of illegal crossings on the southern border.
I hate when they do that, by the way. You know the president's coming. You don't have to finish your little crawl, all right? Whatever's on there, like he starts speaking, you're cutting to him. Just shut the fuck up. Just let him speak. Oh, I'm so important. I got to speak over the president. Look, I think this president's an asshole, but still, you're cutting to him so that you can let people see what the president's saying, and you're like, I'm more important. I got to talk over him because uh, I work for CBS News. That's how they see themselves. Better than the president of the United States. Fucking asshole. I am more. You need to hear my words more than his. Fuck off. I hate these people. They're really bad people. I don't know. How many fucking participation trophies did you get, bitch? They were assuming it would be gibberish anyway. No, Faithless. This is the news. So they are tuned in. They are on the edge of their seat to see what old new Messiah is gonna say. You know, after they're done talking over him. Respect the office, not the man. I agree with that. Yeah. Look, if I ever met Joe Biden, I wouldn't be like, you're a dickhead. I mean, I might tell him I disagree with him and think he's done some really stupid things. And what I would really do if I ever met Joe Biden, this is true. If I ever get the chance to meet Joe Biden, I'm just going to ask him when he stops showering with his daughter, because he won't answer me on Twitter.
What has been a broken immigration system for all.
A broken immigration system. Wait, didn't we just hear that from two other presidents? Why are you going to use this? Well, I mean, look, Joe steals some of his speeches. We've talked about how he had to drop out in 1988 because of the plagiarism in college and the lying about his college record. But there was also the scandal with him stealing his speech. Motherfucker stole a speech.
A long time. Cracking down on illegal immigration, strengthening legal immigration, and protecting dreamers. Those who.
Hey, that's the same shit Obama said 10 years ago. Except he didn't say dreamers because they hadn't come up with that nifty little name yet to keep them in the country. Dreamers. No, dreamers can get the fuck out. Many of them have been to college, so they got some skills they can use. Get the fuck out of my country. Go back home. I don't know anybody there. I don't give a shit. I'm sure you got an auntie or an uncle down there. And if not, make a friend. I don't get out of my country. Thank you, Dark Resurrect. I'm almost to the point of borderline authoritarian ID checks at every residence. If you aren't here legally, it's automatic deportation. That would also require an actual wall being built, though. Have you guys noticed that they haven't been pulling that? Most of these illegals are European. Do you remember when they were doing that? When they were doing that back under Trump, right at the beginning of the Trump administration, when they would talk about illegals, they're like, oh, most of it's just Europeans overstaying their visas. You guys remember that shit? No, it's not. It's people coming across the border illegally. And yeah, we need to close that border. It needs to be closed. I am for legal immigration. I am not for just any legal immigration. I don't think we should be bringing in anybody who's a burden. We'll talk about Ilhan Omar in a little bit. You know, fuck it. Let's talk about her right now. She tweeted out, what was it? What was the exact thing she tweeted out? We have a moral responsibility to take in refugees. All right. One, I don't agree with that. Not even war refugees. I don't agree with that. But let's say we do. Let's say we do. We do not have a moral obligation to take in economic refugees, because that's what's coming from the southern border. Our country sucks. Well, go down there and build it up. Stop bringing your problems to us. We do not have a responsibility to this. Why do we have a responsibility? A moral responsibility. Bitch, you married your brother. Who the fuck are you to preach to anybody about morality? Because I'm pretty sure you fucked him too. You nasty, dirty, nasty out there preaching morality to people. We have a moral obligation. She actually said a moral obligation. Go fuck yourself. Frankly, you should have been sent home too. But she got to jump to the the front of the line as a refugee. Maybe. There's some questions about that. There's some questions about whether or not her family was even supposed to be here. But that bitch jumped to the front of the line and she got to get citizenship. And now she wants to do it for all the little poor people coming up from Guatemala and El Salvador and all of them down there. All of the South American and Central American countries just skipped my brain. So, yeah, we don't know them shit. Not a fucking thing. Get the fuck out. If you do want to come here legally. But then Nancy Pelosi, who's going to pick our fruit? Other people? You know what Nancy Pelosi meant when she said, who's going to pick all the fruit? She meant, who's going to clean my house? Who's going to clean my house for 30 cents an hour? That's what that bitch meant. And that happens all over California. It happens all over Texas. It happened. If you got rich people around on a southern state, you got illegals cleaning their houses and watching their kids for them. Remember when that bitch was like, hey, there's a raid coming. Tell your maids. Who was it that did that? There was a immigration raid in LA. It was some actress. And she tweeted out, tell your maids that there's a raid coming. They all do it. They all do it. Like, no, they're picking fruit. The fuck they are. They're watching your kids and cleaning your house. And you don't want to do it yourself. Or actually pay somebody the $15 an hour. Now it's up to $25. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this. But the $25 an hour you should be doing to clean it up. No, it was the mayor of LA. No, I know the mayor did it, but there was a because the mayor just warned everybody. There was an actress who Amber Heard, thank you, Hate Camel. It was Amber Heard who specifically said, warn your maids. Yeah, dirty bitch. And then she punched Johnny Depp. That's just what happens in LA. So yeah, fuck all these people. Man, we made it 18 seconds into this, and I've been speaking for about 10. This is going to be a long one, you guys.
With temporary protective status and farm workers, who all are part of the fabric of.
And farm workers, did you catch that? Oh, you dirty bitch. Let's go back. These are the people he's going to protect.
What has been a broken immigration system for a long time. Cracking down on illegal immigration, strengthening legal immigration, and protecting dreamers, those who with temporary protective status and farm workers, who all are part of the fabric of our nation.
We got to protect the legal immigrants. There's nothing you need to protect there. We need to protect the dreamers. No, they need to go home. The farm workers. He pulled a Nancy fucking Pelosi here. You guys do know that Mexicans do more than farm work, right? You guys tell us about it all the time. How the fuck they suddenly they're nothing but farm workers. Cesar Chavez hated illegals. Did he? I don't know. I don't know enough about Cesar Chavez. I know a lot more about Julio Cesar Chavez. That he's a boxer, for those of you who don't know. While Cesar Chavez was a do you really count him as a revolutionary? He was a farmer and an advocate. Do you really? I don't know if you'd call him a revolutionary. I'm not sure. Anyway, here we go.
But congressional Republicans have refused to consider my comprehensive plan.
But congressional, okay. What day is this? This is Monday. This speech was on Thursday. So this was what, the 5th? If my math is correct, I could bring up fuck it. Let's just bring up the calendar. Yeah, this is on the 5th. Congressional Republicans didn't have any power until the 6th. 7th, because was it on Saturday that they finally did it? When did they finally get McCarthy elected? Because until then, they had no power. None in the House. And as long as he did it as a what's the word I'm looking for? Reconciliation bill. That this is a matter of budget, which the border would be, unless you're adding shit in there like we're just going to let them in for no reason, then it would have been a reconciliation bill. You could have done it. You could have done it yourself, dickhead. Didn't they have the House and Senate for the last 2 years? Yes, they absolutely did. And this motherfucker's the damn Republican. The damn Republicans won't work with me. You're such a fucking douche. Muggy, my father was a boxer. Oh, sweet. What did he box? What weight class?
And they rejected my recent request for an additional $3.5 billion to secure.
You could have taken 10% of what you gave to Ukraine and now it's $4 billion. 4.5 instead of 3.5. But you gave that to Vladimir Zelensky to put in his offshore accounts, dickhead.
Secure the border and funds for 2,000 new asylum personnel.
I'd just like to point out the omnibus bill had immigration money in it. And it also had the direct wording that did not come from fucking Republicans that it couldn't be used to move immigrants illegal immigrants, except for in certain situations. And that it couldn't be securing the border the way that we gave money to Jordan to do it. This is some fucking nonsense. This is bullshit. Sticks just put out a video saying exactly this would happen, blaming GOP. Of course. Especially now that they actually do control the House. But what he's mostly talking about is the Senate. And they did this stupid shit on several different occasions. Here's a good one for you. Take the student loan relief. Joseph Biden does not have it within his power to just go, all right, I'm going to wipe out this student debt. There's nothing in the Constitution that gives him the power to do that. It has to come from the House. It has to start in the House. The House could have passed a bill. I don't agree with it, but they could have done it. Pass a bill. We're going to forgive all debt relief. They could do that if they wanted to. We're going to forgive it all. And then it goes to the Senate. And the Senate, they're like, oh, we couldn't get the votes. Yes, you could. Because you'd have to do it. All you'd have to do is run it as a reconciliation bill. Reconciliation bills are budget bills that are strictly budget, which that would be strictly budget. And all you need is 50 votes for closure. That's how you say it. It's closure, not closure. So that you could go to an actual vote and then you get a 50% in the House, plus that ugly bitch back there who likes to suck dick, and you have it passed, and then Joe could sign it. They had it. They could have done it that way. And instead, they had this little fucker just do an executive order. Oh, yeah, we just couldn't do it. Yeah, we couldn't get it passed through Congress. You didn't even try. Didn't even try. And again, I'm not for it, but it could have been done legally. And instead, and they do this fucking shit. And then they're going to watch. I guarantee you one of these motherfuckers be like, oh, the Republicans just won't. They are stopping us from. Actually, they've already done it because there have been lawsuits to stop the student loan relief. And why would the Republicans do this? Well, because you did it illegally, motherfucker. If you wanted it done right, you could have done it right. Oh, the stupid Republicans, the fucking Republicans. And they'll blame it on Republicans. And it's been repeated in the media. Of course it has. We are only 38 seconds into this 18-minute, almost 19-minute video.
Another asylum officers and personnel, and 100 new immigration judges. So people don't have to wait years to get their claims adjudicated, which they have a right.
They would still. We are so backlogged. 100 new judges wouldn't pull it down, so that they weren't waiting years. It would just, instead of 15 years, they'd be waiting 12. Asshole.
To make a claim legally, and
most of them shouldn't be here making a claim legally because refugee status, this is something they will lie to you about. Like anybody can come here and claim refugee status. Yes, they can. Anybody can. And then you look at their claim and go, there's no war going on where you live. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Frankly, I don't think the House has the right to forgive debt owed to non-government entity. I hear you. I do. But most college debt goes through the government, or is at least government backed. So I hear you, but yeah.
The failure to pass and fund this comprehensive plan has increased the challenges that we're seeing at our southwest border. No one knows this better than the Vice President.
What? No, no one knows that the lack of resources is horrible and causing even a bigger problem. Nobody knows that better than the vice president. No one, Joe. No one. You couldn't think of anybody who might be a little bit more knowledgeable on that. Just knee pads over here. The person you put in charge of this shit, who went to the border and like barely looked at it and ran for the hills. That one? All right.
And to truly understand what's happening there, it's important to step back and see the bigger picture here.
Oh, please.
You know, I know it's hard to see, but because our politics has been so divisive, you know it's getting much better, you've all observed, but it's been so darn.
It's not getting better. And hold it right there, motherfucker. Hold it right there. I know it's hard to see this because the politics have been so divisive. I started this showing President Clinton talking about how we needed to deal with immigration. I then showed President Obama saying the same thing. Now, if you wanted, I could pull up President Bush and President Trump saying the exact same thing. Almost everybody was on board, even if nobody did it. At least they were rhetorically on board. Until President Trump came out and said it. Until 2016, motherfucker. Suddenly in 2016, putting a border wall up and securing the border became the most racist thing you could ever do. It made you Hitler. No, it made you worse than Hitler. We had concentration camps on the border. You know who AOC is, right, you little fucker? She said there were concentration camps on the border, literal concentration camps. She compared it to what happened to the Jews, you stupid shit. I know it's divisive. Why is it divisive? Let's dig into the why, Joe. Comrade Kitty, thank you. Yeah, step back and see that empty parking lot. AOC took pictures of immigrants in cages. Yeah, don't forget, the divisiveness was so bad in 2016, and I guess 2017 really. They're showing these pictures of, look at how Trump is dealing with these immigrants. He's got them in these cages, for God's sakes. Why is he treating them like this? Those are from 2015 when Obama was in charge. I don't know what pictures you're talking about. They still use them from time to time. They still use them like, look, here's the people, the kids in cages. Yeah, exactly, Danger. It was kids in cages that Obama did. They also, do you remember when they were talking about the solar blankets that the kids, all they have is these solar blankets in there. You didn't say fuck all about it when those pictures were actually taken I think it was 2.5 years earlier. You didn't say a fucking word. They'd already been published. Not a fucking word. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Then claim it all at the border instead of when you're caught 2 years after you came in. You can't just claim it when it's convenient. Oh, no. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Because that's how it works. Very few people will call him on this. so he can say whatever stupid shit he wants to. I hear what you're saying, and you're right in theory. You're right. If we had an actual free press who cared about holding, what is it they say? Speaking truth to power. If they actually gave a shit about that, yeah, you'd be absolutely right. Sorry, had a booger escaping. That's gross. I'm so sorry, guys. I just like the word booger. Do you guys like it when your boogers freeze? If you're from a southern state, you probably never experienced that unless you like work somewhere with a walk-in cooler. But I really do like the feeling when my boogers freeze. It's just, I don't know why. It's the only thing I like about the cold. What were we talking about? Oh, this dumbass. That's right. This dumbass. All right, Joe. Let's hear some more stupid from you. We're only a minute and 16 in. Monk losing his voice a little bit. Yeah. I've overdone it a bit lately, talking a little too much.
Aren't divisive, that it like clouds the picture. I mean, it clouds
Really?
the picture.
You mean lying about your enemies just to make them sound like Hitler, like literal Hitler, clouds the picture? I know I'm shocked. I know I'm fucking shocked. It clouds the picture. Yeah. Doesn't Biden have only like 2 weeks left as president anyway? Saying I'm still holding on. I'm still thinking the 20th. Well, maybe not exactly the 20th, but just a couple weeks after. Yeah. Just long enough so that they can give her shot. Although she has been such a disappointment that maybe not. Maybe they'll let it run a little bit longer. And you see Biden here trying to pump her up. You know, nobody knows it more than her. Nobody knows it more than her.
But let me explain what I'm going to do.
Impeachment, no, Q. 25th Amendment. He's going to have another stroke, or he'll have a fall like I do. And yeah, I'm expecting a 25th coming sometime this year. They will invoke the 25th Amendment on this motherfucker.
Clearly and plainly as I can. I know it's a complicated issue.
It's not that complicated. And you speaking clearly, Joe Biden's going to speak clearly, y'all. Settle in, because he hasn't done that in years.
I don't want to pretend there's anything easy about it.
People
People come to America for a whole lot of different reasons, to seek new opportunity in what is the strongest economy in the world.
That is not a good reason to break our fucking laws. That is not a good reason to go around our immigration system. See, I should just let him talk. Most of what they're talking about here, most of these illegals who stay here, this is why they finally dropped that stupid shit about it's all the Europeans who are overstaying their green card. No. It's not them overstaying their travel visas or whatever the fuck they want to claim it is. It is thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people pouring through our southern border on a monthly basis. 200,000 were caught this last month. Caught. Do you think we're catching them all? Do you, Joe? Because this is really easy. Put up a fucking wall and put up armed guards around it. There you go. It's that easy. But you don't want to do that because you actually want people in this country. This shit angers me. I don't know if you've noticed.
Can't blame them wanting to do it. They flee oppression, to the freest nation in the world.
Not according to the Freedom Index, but I would agree with you. What is the Freedom Index? Isn't it Canada that's the freest country in the world? How come, let me ask you this. How come you don't see Mexicans and Guatemalans and El Salvadorians and uh, Chileans and Brazilians and Central and South America. How come you don't see them go to Canada? How come you don't see them, the way they come all the way up through Mexico? You guys ever looked at Mexico? That's a long fucking country. It's long from top to bottom, from south to north. They make that whole trip and they stop in America. Canada's got nice cities. Why don't they go up there?
They chase their own American dream in the greatest nation in the world.
They don't deserve an American dream. I'm sorry, homie. They don't deserve an American dream.
And the story of America is the story of so many of your families, including mine, going back to the mid-1800s from Ireland.
Joe, we're a nation of immigrants. Well, yeah, but we're a nation of immigrants who followed the law to get here. Whether you're talking about when we had a more open immigration system or now when there's tons of people, how many people do we take in each year? Isn't it something like 1 million people that are allowed to become citizens each year? We take in a shit ton of people already. We don't need millions of them just pouring from the southern border because it's poor in our country. Well, then develop, you fucking idiots. The plans are out there. You can probably buy them from the Chinese really, really cheap. They just stole them from us. No, we got to go up there and do it. Yeah.
Now, there are a number of ways to immigrate to America legally under our existing laws.
Yep.
For example, an American citizen can sponsor an immediate family member from another country.
And that should not be it. Now, when you say immediate family member, if it's like a spouse, I'm with you. But if you're a grown ass adult and you're sponsoring your mom, that shouldn't happen. Sorry, it just shouldn't. That shouldn't be a free ticket. And look, I know there's cases where it's like it is from an oppressive country, and in that case, that's different. In that case, you probably could even get a refugee status, but fuck.
An American company can sponsor an employee from another country.
Yeah, and they fire Americans so they can do it, right, Disney? Right, Disney? You guys remember when Disney did that? They brought in a bunch of foreigners and had Americans train them in the job and then fired the Americans. Yeah. That's the H-1B visa? Yeah. We need to scale all of that shit back too. We just need a clean slate on this shit. If you guys want to redo the immigration system, fine, but we just need a clean slate and all right. If you just come across our borders and squat out a baby that's not an American, get the fuck back. All right. Right. Amazon. Yeah. Amazon did it too. There's a lot of companies that I believe Walmart even did it. We need laws that say, hey, if you knowingly hire an illegal, you're going to get a fine that will hurt you tremendously. If you hire an illegal, we are going to slap you with a $200,000 fine for each illegal that works for you. And you know what? We can do that on a daily basis for every day they worked for you. Because if you really want to stop illegal immigration, hit the fucking employers who are paying these idiots. There's a whole bunch of shit I'm willing to, yeah. You want to make this tougher to get in the country? I'm with you, but that's not what they want to do. This motherfucker wants to legalize dreamers for fuck's sake.
There are visas for students to study in our colleges and other special categories.
That's a visa. That's them. That's not them living here legally forever, Joe. That's a bad example.
And regardless of the legal pathway they process them to require everyone be involved in following the law. That's the notion. There are laws to get here legally.
Did you hear what he just said? Hang on. Wait. Listen.
In following the law. That's the notion. There are laws to get here legally.
There are laws to get here illegally. Did you hear it? One more time.
In following the law. That's the notion. There are laws to get here illegally.
There's laws to get here illegally. Joe, you're a fucking retard. To get here, yes. Laws to get here illegally. He's reading from a teleprompter, for fuck's sake. Christ, at least when I screw up. All right, sometimes it's when I'm reading, but I'm not a paid politician who's done this his whole life. For fuck's sake. There's laws to get here illegally. Joe. I wish Jack was here for that line. For the record, Jack is probably sleeping. I wasn't, with the way my head was earlier, I wasn't even planning on doing a show tonight. I was just taking the whole night off. So he's probably sleeping. Everybody, wish Jack sweet dreams. Just put a 1 in chat for sweet dreams.
That includes another legal way for someone to come to America by seeking asylum, because.
But look, geology always fucks me up, Zono. That's not fair. That's the word geology always fucks me up. Geometry does it too. I don't know why those two words fuck me up so much. Asylum is not the way that we use it right now. Asylum is not supposed to be, I'm poor in my home country. That's not what it has ever fucking been for. It's just something we've started doing so that you fucking idiots have a reason to have all these illegals here so that they can clean your fucking house cheaply. Dirty pricks. Oh, wait, that's not all of them. Some of them get fucked by your son while he's high off meth. So there's those ones too.
They're fleeing persecution, like a lot of our ancestors did as well. And for many people, that's what's happening at our southwest border now.
Wrong.
Over the past several years, thousands of people have been fleeing from Central and South America and the Caribbean countries ruled by oppressive dictators, including Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and escaping gang violence, which has the same impact. And
gang violence isn't supposed to be part of it, shithead. That's crime. Asylum because there's crime in your country is not. No. Wait, I want to go back. I gotta hear the list of countries he uses. All right.
The law, that's the notion. There are laws to get here legally. That includes another legal way for someone to come to America by seeking asylum because they're fleeing persecution, like a lot of our ancestors did as well. And for many people, that's what's happening at our southwest border now.
Right.
Over the past several years, thousands of people have been fleeing from Central and South America and the Caribbean countries ruled by oppressive dictators, including Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and escaping gang violence, which is
he said Venezuela. I'm shocked. I thought I'd heard him say that. You don't typically hear Democrats talk down about Venezuela. They like that commie little country. Yes, he does mean the Pilgrims. They're escaping oppression like our ancestors did. Really? No, all of those countries that he's naming there, what he's talking about with the oppression. Joe, your little buddy Zelensky, he's oppressing people. He outlawed political parties. He disbanded news organizations. It was probably a mistake, Monkey. It probably was back then. No, whoever wrote this speech for him is like, we need a third. We can't just have two. And we can say Cuba because Castro's dead. Who else can we say? Nicaragua, because nobody really knows what's going on down there. And because nobody pays attention to South America or Central America. What's another country? I'm actually shocked he didn't say Brazil, but we don't really seem to have a lot of people coming from there. He is going after the Christian church too. Yes. Zelensky is a shitbag. You know, the actual oppression that you would think these people are talking about, that's actually going on in Ukraine right now. It really is. Zelensky's been killing his own people for 8 years because they had political disagreement with him. But hey, I'm not supposed to bring that shit up. Escape from Portland. Did you see in Portland somebody burned down, what was it, a 117-year-old church? Or is it a 170-year-old? I can't remember. It's one of these fucking Antifa guys because they know they're not going to be punished. Like, fuck it, I'll burn down an old church. Fucking people. I hate people. I really hate. I love a lot of people, but I hate a lot of people. I really do. And you're not supposed to hate. Fuck you. I'll do what I want. I'm a grown-ass man.
Same impact in Haiti. Currently, these 4 countries account for most of the people traveling.
Wait, Haiti. Somebody was supposed to be fixing that place. They were pouring. Oh, they weren't pouring the money in there. They collected a whole bunch of money to help that. Who was that? Oh, yeah, Bill Clinton. Bill and Hillary. They raised that shit ton of money and pocketed it. I'm sorry. Got paid for their work. Even in Haiti, they're not escaping persecution in the way that you're talking about when you're talking about asylum. They are poor. They're poor. That's it. And yes, shithole countries, Darth Sadi, shithole country. Remember, you can't call them a shithole country. They are shithole countries. And you know how you don't fix them? Sending all their people here. Paid for Chelsea's wedding? Probably did. And probably paid for Bill to get Hillary to go live somewhere else so he could bang hookers. Or underage girls who were trafficked, whichever.
Into Mexico to start a new life by getting to the American border and trying to cross. But instead of safe and orderly...
But never to the Canadian one. That's weird. They just stop here. Huh.
Process at the border, we have a patchwork system that simply doesn't work as it should. We don't have enough asylum officers or personnel to determine whether people qualify for asylum. There's a standard by which you have to meet. We don't have enough immigration judges.
Those two things are true. But it's largely true because of how fucked up our immigration system is, how long we've been pushing this fucking problem off. Because we've had presidents who talk a good game. They talk a real good game. Where did all the children from Haiti go? They got whipped by Border Patrol. This problem that we have at the border where we need the immigration judges and we need the asylum, the refugee judges, the refugee officers, that is because of how many of these people are here. This motherfucker right here, both of them weren't both of them on the stage at the one debate together? And now, in fairness, I don't remember. Did Joe raise his hand to the my medical plan will cover illegals? I know Kamala did. I know when Kamala was will your healthcare plan cover illegals? Her fucking hand shot up. I think Joe's did too. Joe, hear me out. Maybe if you would stop promising a whole bunch of handouts to them, they wouldn't be so happy to come here. In California, they might as well be citizens. They might as well actually just be citizens because they have you can get your driver's license. You can, in certain places, be elected to local school boards. You get the California healthcare thing. You get all of the advantages of being a citizen. Except being actually called one. Now, why wouldn't people come? Why wouldn't they sneak up here? We're talking about illegals. We're not even talking about somebody with like a green card. No. We're not talking about somebody with a temporary visa. No. Illegals. treated as though they're just regular citizens. Go out there and get your food stamps. Go ahead and get your public education. Here, you need some help with housing? We got that for you too. I mean, granted, you're going to live on a street corner with a tent, but that's what we got. You guys are encouraging them to come up here. That's why there's a problem. It's not that we need more judges. If the system was working how it's supposed to, if we weren't encouraging these people to come here, if we weren't telling, hey, come on up, we got you. You're just seeking a better life. Come on up, we got a better life for you. We're going to give it to you. We're going to make all these motherfuckers in this country pay for you. Maybe they wouldn't be coming up, Joe. It's been reported 33% of women and girls who make the trip through Mexico get raped. 33%. And you have a 1 in 3 chance of being raped on your way up here. And they still make that trip. You think they're getting raped just once? And they still make that trip. Do you think it's so they can hide out in a basement and not know if they're going to get food the next day? No. It's because they've been told about the promised land where everything's going to be given to them. You fucking asshole. I really didn't think I was going to rant this much through this. But there's a rape culture on campus. Is he right? They actually tried to deny it when that number came out. And then it was shown like, yeah, this is actually real. So they just shut their fucking mouths. I know this is not real. It's right there. Yeah, it was actually around 31%, and Trump said 1 in 3, and they fact checked him. Yeah, because they're like, no, that 1 in 3 would be 33%. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, it was CNN who did the fact check of the 1 in 3. I remember that because I read that one on the air.
To adjudicate the claims of immigrants. In fact, the previous administration
illegals
used a rule called Title 42 to deal with the pandemic, to rapidly expel people who crossed the border. It was designed to deal with the pandemic, but it's used as a means to expel people at the border.
It's used to expel people at the border who are sick, you motherfucker. Literally, you have to go wait in Mexico because you're sick and you're not bringing that shit across the border. Now, here's the thing with Title 42. We shouldn't have needed it. When it comes to immigration, there are sicknesses you're not allowed to bring across our border. And every country has this. If you're going overseas, especially to certain places, like if you were going to Africa, they're going to give you shots that you haven't had since you were a child. They'll be like, yeah, we got to give you this one because if you go over there, you're going to get some nasty ass diseases. And we don't want you bringing that home. It's just smart. You know what killed a lot of the Indians? It wasn't the settlers and the cavalries and no. It was disease. Because the Europeans who came over to America had diseases that they, were just used to. And the Indians have never been exposed to them before. And their immune systems were not ready for it. And their immune systems went, oh, fuck. That's where the real colonization happened. Indian immune systems.
People turned away under Title 42.
Blankets. Now, I love the blanket jokes, but the truth is, while that is rumored to have happened, it wasn't even needed most of the time. It was just the exposure to Europeans and their own diseases. So, have a solution. Have Metallica do another concert down in Mexico. They'll fight to get back down there. Well, under COVID, we had there was, I don't know if it ever actually happened, but it was reported that you had Mexicans who were like, oh, hell no, I'm not going up there. They have this running rampant through the country. And it did seem like there was a downtick in how many people were being stopped at the border.
and they're not, and they're not.
And have you guys ever seen the video of Barack Obama when his teleprompter broke? The one where he just goes. Have you guys ever seen that video? I'll have to find it. We'll play it again one night. Been a long time.
Barred from trying to come back. They've been turned away. They go back. They try again. They try again. Well, you know, they can and they do try to re-enter the United States again and again, which makes the problem that borders at the border even worse.
Well, it's almost, it was if, that's what it was. Thank you, Fornated. If. All right. So we got him and we turned him away. Told him, no, go home. If only we had some kind of system, like a computer or something like that, where you could put their names in and maybe a picture of them and rapidly match them every time they tried to come back, and just turn them back away and go, nope, don't come back. If you come back, we're just going to turn you around again. That almost sounds like a good way to keep people from coming through. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Fingerprint. I know, right? I mean, like some kind of system. You tried to come in here illegally. You were told no, and we kicked you out. And it's going to take us a whole year to try again because you came back. Because we just can't figure out how to, you know, have a criminal kind of database kind of thing. It's like somebody should invent that. You know, look, all you poor countries down in South America, you guys invent a system like that and we'll use it to keep you the fuck out of my country.
And under the United States Supreme Court decision, a case on Title 42 later this year, my administration will make a decision, finally, what to do about Title 42. In the meantime,
for the record, Title 42 has been overturned and then put back in place and overturned and put back in place. Right now, it was just reinstated by the appellate court. It's going to be going to the Supreme Court because of that. Joe, you don't know what the Supreme Court's going to do. My guess would be they're actually going to uphold it. They might say no because of COVID not being as big anymore, but now we have, what's it called? XBB.1.5. Is that what it is? So, I mean, we got it another round, man. So, how you know that didn't come from across the border, dickhead?
My administration will continue to use that authority as the Supreme Court has required. And until Congress passes the funds, a comprehensive immigration plan to fix the system completely, my administration is going to work to make things better at the border using the tools that we have.
Problem is, you guys abuse your power all the time. That's how we have dreamers. Thank you, Frank Hubbard. If they're let in, no need to turn them away again. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. He just said it. He made it sound like I'm going to use Title 42 while I can, like it's something he wants to do. He canceled it. That's how the whole suit thing started. You know, I'm going to use it as required. Why wouldn't you want to? Why do you? I hate this motherfucker. The grown-ups are in charge.
Available to us now.
Thank you, Frank. I don't
Today,
remember if I
my
said that.
administration is taking several steps to stiffen enforcement.
They're letting Kamala blow on it. That's how they're getting it. That's how they're stiffening enforcement. Kamala's she's going to be on her knees as the guys walk by.
For those who try to come without a legal.
Those who try to come. That worked too well with what I just said. Let's back that up a second. I'm interrupting tonight. I'm sorry.
Using the tools that we have available to us now.
Do it.
Today, my administration is taking several steps to stiffen enforcement for those who try to come without a legal right to stay, and to put in place a faster process, I emphasize a faster process, to decide a claim of asylum. Someone says, I'm coming because I'm escaping oppression. Well, there's got to be a way to determine that much quicker for people who are credibly seeking protection from persecution. Secretary of Homeland Security Mayorkas will detail these actions very shortly.
Man, this motherfucker can't talk at all. He called him Marcus. It's my Mayorkas, you fucking dummy. Even I can say Mayorkas. Fuck, sometimes.
Secretary of Homeland Security Mayorkas will detail these actions very shortly after I finish at Homeland Security.
No, he
But
won't.
here's one significant step we're taking. Over the summer, we saw a huge spike in the number of Venezuelans traveling through Mexico and attempting to enter the United States without going through our legal processes. We responded by using and ensuring that there are two safe and lawful ways for someone leaving the country to come to America. That was one of the reasons you were proposing. First, if they're seeking asylum, they can use an app on their cell phone called CBP1, O-N-E.
There is now an app for illegal immigration, y'all. That is a real fucking thing our government has set up. An app for illegals. An app, I'm going to say it again because it's stupid as shit. An app for illegals. Now remember, he said we saw a huge spike in people from Venezuela coming up here illegally, not through the proper channels, going over fences, that kind of shit. And their response to that is we got an app for that. They got an app for that. All right.
CBP1, O-N-E. That's to spell it out, not the number one. To schedule an appointment at a port of entry and make their asylum claim there without crossing the border unlawfully and have a decision determined by an asylum officer.
Have they started giving them smartphones yet, or is that the next thing? They've already started giving them cell phones. I'm assuming they're smartphones, but they've given, it's reportedly so, they can make their their appointments with the immigration judge. And I'm not making this up, so they can be tracked. You're giving illegals things and saying this way we can track you down. You think they're keeping those things? Fuck no. They're selling them to people who are jailbreaking them and reselling them. Dumb motherfuckers.
Do they qualify? Second, in October, we worked with the Mexican government to launch.
Wait. We should be able to answer this very easy. Is there any reason somebody from Venezuela should be coming up here and getting asylum? It's a really easy question. They're poor. That's their issue. They're poor. Don't give me any shit about oppression. They loved this system under Chavez, under Hugo Chavez. I know we talked about Cesar Chavez earlier. Under Hugo Chavez, yay, we love this shit. This motherfucker was winning his reelection by like 50% or by like 75%, 80%. I forget the exact number. They loved him. But then Maduro gets in, the oil economy collapses, and they all have to eat their pets and zoo animals. And like, oh my God, this is so terrible. It's not the system that they hate. They support this communist bullshit. And I'm sorry that makes them fucking starve, but that's not my goddamn problem.
New parole program. There's another program called, you all know it, but the public may not, called the parole program that immediately showed results by reducing the number of people crossing the border unlawfully. The way this parole program works, one must have a lawful sponsor here in the United States who agrees to sponsor you to get here. Then that person has to undergo rigorous background checks and apply from outside the United States and not cross the border illegally in the meantime.
Well, Joe, the problem is they don't give a rat's ass about your stupid ass laws. Hey, that's why we call them illegals, you dumb motherfucker. God damn. Keldrick, thank you so much. Words I never want to hear Biden say again. Stiff come finish. That's what he chants to himself when him and Jill do it. Do you think he puts it in Jill's butt still? Do you think you think she gets all freaky, hops on top, and just sits herself down on his penis in her rectum? What's up, Addie? How you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. Hope you're well. They know you were going to let them in and pay them anyway. Yeah, yeah. So why what you know, the parole program, it's seen immediate results, Joe. You started this by telling us these people can have a family member sponsor them. So now you're just any rando can sponsor them. And what we do is tell them they have to do it the right way. The whole problem is that they're not doing it the right way, you silly son of a bitch. We saw an immediate response. Really? Because if I remember correctly, last month set a record for the month of December. Maybe it was November. It's got a result. What result? You think it would have been even more illegals coming? Jesus fucking Christ. The only result we've seen from your administration is literally when they saw you were elected, going back to November of 2020, they started making the move to come up, you silly bitch. They started jumping on those caravans and getting raped on their way up here. Welsh Republic, I'm all right, my friend. I'm all right. Hope you're well too.
Time. If they apply and their application is approved, they can use the same app, the CBP1 app, to present at a port of entry and be able.
There's an app for that.
To work in the United States legally for 2 years.
For 2 years. Legally. Why would you bother coming to America legally? Seriously. Why would you spend 15 years and tens of thousands of dollars to come to the United States legally when you can just do it this way? Why would anybody do that, Joe? We're going to make it easier for them to come here. We'll call it legal. We'll call it of all potato. Thank you. Joe probably makes Jill wear a schoolgirl costume. I doubt he could even get it up if they don't look underage. Oh, do you think he plays shower with her? That's fucked up. That's wrong. I'm sorry. Do you think he no, Frank, just don't go there. Do you think he makes her respond to the name Ashley and pretend to get stuck in the dryer? That's so wrong. I feel bad about that joke.
That's the process. But if their application is denied, or if they attempt to cross into the United States unlawfully, they'll be returned back to Mexico and will not be eligible for this program after that. So if they making the program available,
so you're going to let illegals come in pseudo legally. That's what you're talking about. Well, look, we're stopping it. We're just going to let them all come in. What? What? Seriously, what? What fucking moron that works for you? Because I know your brain is not even ready to comprehend the things you're saying right now. What fucking moron that works for you is like, I know how to stop illegal immigration. We'll just make it all legal through an app. If you're told no, you can't come in. Well, that's worked so far, Joe. That's worked so far. We have these big fences and you see people using ladders to climb over them because they know if they can get over here and run, they're safe. But if you tell them no, then they'll stop. God damn, you're an idiot. Frosted Glass, thank you. I'm stuck in a dryer, Joe. So am I. Joe would probably actually, she's playing I'm Stuck in a Dryer, and he'd probably call a handyman to get her out.
They apply
That's a whole different video.
and they do it properly, fine. If
Okay, I just want to say, hang on. We got to watch that again. I'm gonna let it play for a second.
for this program after that. So if they so making the program available, if they apply and they do it properly, fine. If they don't apply and they try to come through, they're not going to have an opportunity to deal with the program.
If they were applying and doing it properly, Joe, we wouldn't have a fucking issue. You do understand. You do understand that there is a method by which they can apply to become citizens, right? You understand that, right, Joe? No. What's going to fix it all is if we do that on an app where we keep you illegal, but, we'll let you come work. Oh my God. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. This is like saying, I know how we can stop illegal gun sales. We'll legally sell the guns to the criminals. And that way, they have a gun legally, and so they're not illegal gun sales anymore. But if they're caught buying an illegal gun, we will not sell them legal guns. What? This is like saying, look, this is how we're going to stop some rape. When a guy goes to rape a chick, she needs to say yes. And as long as she says yes at that point, then it's not rape. But if she still says no and he rapes her anyway, then we'll throw her in jail. So if you just, we need, you got to have that opportunity for them to not be illegal anymore. We sent $45 billion to Ukraine, and Joe's saying we need $3.5 billion to secure our border. Anybody have a problem with that? Joe's saying these people are coming over here illegally, and that's a problem. So what we're going to do is give them an app so they can illegally come over here legally. This is asinine. They shouldn't get to jump the line. Thank you, Frank, who says, Jill, Daddy, I've taken in the shower again. Can you help me? Joe, sure, Ashley. After this little blue pill. He doesn't even know it's a blue pill. She's telling him it's some blue jello. He don't know. He don't know. All right. Let's go. We got a long way to go with this idiot.
This new process is orderly, it's safe, and it's humane.
31%, y'all. 31% raped on their way up here. Girls and women. It's safe, y'all, because they got an app now. God damn, I hate this guy.
And it works. Since we created the new program, the number of Venezuelans trying to enter America without going through a legal process has dropped dramatically.
Wait, stop. The number of Venezuelans who were coming here illegally has dropped dramatically. By the way, the number of actual illegals hasn't dropped, so I need that explained to me, Joe. But it's dropped dramatically as we've given them a legal way to illegally be here. Really? I'm shocked. I'm shocked that has dropped the number, you dumb son of a bitch.
1,100 per day to less than 250 per day on average. That's several hundred people on average every single day who are not crossing into America illegally.
They're still here illegally. They're still here. They have no reason to be here. They're not citizens. We're just saying, all right, okay, you're not illegal, even though they shouldn't be here. All right.
Today, I'm announcing that my administration's...
By the way, it's also wintertime, which tends to lower the number of people coming through. And Joe set records in January. This is a true story. Typically, Joe's like, "Oh no, you see a lot more people coming through in January." It's no. Yeah, they can't wait to get to America and freeze their asses off. Anyhow, I mean, we have seen the migrant caravans coming up in January, but it's typically the March, April, May area. This guy's a fucking retard.
Going to expand the parole program for people not only from Venezuela, but from Cuba, Nicaragua, and Haiti.
Can Haitians even get phones? So, guys, he's going to take care of the illegal immigration problem by just making them all legal. There you go. That takes care of the problem. I hate this guy. So it's worked with one country where we take these illegal immigrants and turn them into migrants. So we're going to do that for 3 other countries. And then we're just going to do it for all of Central and South America and Mexico. Sure, why not?
Again, these 4 countries, Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Haiti, these 4 countries account for most of the people now traveling into Mexico to try to start a new life by crossing the border into the United States of America on the southwest border. We anticipate this action is going to substantially reduce the number of people attempting to cross our southwest border without going through a...
I'm anticipating it's just going to make a lot of more illegals over here. You're just going to call them legal, you dumb son of a bitch. No wonder your son does meth.
Legal process. In fact, today I'm announcing that the Mexico...
Ranting Monkey leaving the door open reduces break-ins by 100%. I know, right? So if you guys just leave your doors open, yeah, your shit won't get broken into. And if you put up a sign that says "Help yourself to anything in your house," it helps with robbery.
Mexico has agreed to allow up to return up to 30,000 persons per month who try, get caught, and get sent back from those 4 countries, who are apprehended while attempting to...
30,000, that's about 15% of the illegals caught. 15%. He just told us that the majority of these people are coming from those countries. And this is one country taking them back. We have some of the countries who are like, yeah, we're only going to take back like 10 a day. All right. Here's what we'll do. We'll drop them out of an airplane. You figure it out. Here's what we should do, because we give a lot of aid to these countries. A lot of aid. And it's like that, take them back or we're cutting it all off. I'm for cutting it off eventually anyway, but right now it's a tool that can be used. Take them all back, or you don't get our money, motherfucker. And remember, a lot of that money just gets stolen by the people in charge, so it would matter to them. You know, oh my God, I'm gonna have to live like one of these piss ants in my poor ass country. All right, we'll take them back. We'll figure something out.
Unlawfully cross the border, the southwest border. My message is this: if you're trying to leave Cuba, Nicaragua, or Haiti, or have agreed to begin a journey to America, do not just show up at the border. Stay where you are and apply legally from there.
Well, here's the thing. You can come to America illegally. This is true. You can look it up. You can come to America illegally, cross under the border, over the border, go around the border, whatever. And I believe is it 2 full years? You have 2 years, and you wait right up until that last day, and then you can go into any embassy kind of place, any State Department building, any border building, and go, I need asylum. You got 2 years for that. So, Joe, your little stupid ass program, I get what you're going for. I really do. It's dumb as shit. Don't get me wrong. But I understand what you're going for. It just doesn't jive with American law. You got 2 years. 2 years to be here illegally, and if you get caught in that 2 years at all you gotta do is say, I'm seeking asylum." And you go into the system. You know what happens when you get in the system? They put a barcode on you, whether it's through the phone app or sometimes, not very often, they actually do use ankle bracelets. And like, you need to come back for a court appearance sometime. And then they kick you right back out into the country again. They don't kick you into Mexico. They don't kick you back to your original country. It's right back into Texas. It's right back into California. It's right back into Arizona. That's what they do. Don't let these motherfuckers lie to you.
Starting today, if you don't apply through the legal process, you will not be eligible for this new parole program.
It doesn't matter because the old program's still there, you fucking idiot.
Let me reiterate. You need a lawful sponsor in the United States of America, number one. And you need to undergo a rigorous background check, number two. If your application is approved...
Or you can just do it the illegal way that they've been doing it all along, and it's a lot better off for you.
You show up at a U.S. airport or when and where directed. Excuse me.
You see how stiff Kamala is back there the whole time? She looks like a goddamn robot. This is the Blowatron 2000.
You have access. But if your application is denied or you attempt to cross into the United States unlawfully, you will not be allowed to enter.
Yes, you will. You just don't go through the port of entry.
Look, we should all recognize that as long as America is the land of freedom and opportunity, people are going to try to come here.
No, as long as America is the land of, we're going to give you free shit, even if you're in our country illegally, they're going to try to come here. Elf, thank you so much for the donation with no message. I appreciate it. If there's something you meant to do, just put it in chat right now and I'll catch it.
And that's what many of our ancestors did. And it's no surprise that it's happening again today.
What's wrong with this guy's voice? If you're talking about me, I'm just losing my voice. I've been talking too much. If you're talking about Biden, he sounds pretty normal to me.
We can't stop people from making the journey, but we can require them to come here.
Have a good night,
here
Elf.
In an orderly way under U.S. law. And let me say it again. The actions we're announcing today will make things better. Will make things better.
No, it won't.
But will not
You're a liar.
fix the border problem completely.
No, because you're
There's
just
more
letting,
that has to be done.
No, you son of a bitch. No, because you're just letting people in here legally, illegally. You silly son of a bitch. And it's only for 4 countries. How many countries are in South America and Central America? Was it like 12, 15, something like that? Plus the Caribbean islands, plus anywhere else that wants to come over? Haiti's not in the Caribbean, is it? I'm so bad at geography. I almost said the wrong one. Almost.
I laid that out in the first week I was here.
No, you didn't.
That work will not be done unless and until the Congress enacts and funds a more comprehensive immigration plan that I proposed on day one.
The problem is your immigration plan sucks because it's not about actually closing the fucking border. It's not about keeping these people out. Listen to what you just said, Joe. It went from thousands a day to 200 a day. Well, how many of those people, how many of those thousands were allowed to legally come in? How many came in? How many of you think got denied, guys? Do you think it was half? Even at half, you're talking about still letting at least 1,000 people in a day. 1,000 a day. What is that over a year? 365,000 people a year that you're letting in legally, illegally. And now you've expanded that to 3 other countries. Fucking idiot.
Until Congress has acted, I can act where I have legal capacity to do so.
You don't have mental capacity.
Last year, I brought together 20 leaders, many of you were there, and from the Western Hemisphere, heads of state, to stabilize the flow of immigration, to expand pathways
And it hasn't helped. You're still setting records, shithead.
to immigration, and to manage the border humanely. The
Humanely.
leaders of the hemisphere build on those efforts.
Humanely to who? To the people who own property on the border there? To the people who pay taxes? The people who work their ass off and get half of their money taken from them every month? Who's it humane to, Joe? You fucking shitbag. To the people who have to deal with the gang violence that's been coming through with places like MS-13, is it humane to all the people who have died from fentanyl that's been pushed across the border? Who's it humane to? God, I hate this fucking fluffy bullshit language. I really fucking do. It's humane. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're a fucking asshole. Oh, God. Oh, did you guys hear that wheeze from me? I can't do it again. It was just one random wheeze. Thank you so much, Frank. Haiti is half of the island the Dominican Republic is on. So, yeah, Caribbean. Yeah, that doesn't help me because I didn't know where the Dominican Republic is. I understand. I appreciate it. But, yeah, I had... You'd be like, if you said, like, it's next to Cuba, like, oh, I know where that's at. But, yeah, no idea.
That I led when,
and there are people like, oh, Americans, you just don't care about other. I bet you couldn't tell me where this country is. Fuck you. Show me where Alabama is, bitch. Let's pull up a map and you show me which state is Nebraska, motherfucker. You don't give a shit either. Stop pretending. Oh, well, we know where fuck you. I don't have to care about your shit ass little country.
I was vice president, to expand economic assistance to nations in North Central America, so people here can improve their economic prospects at home instead of having to leave the United States.
When I was vice president, we gave a shit ton of money to these places so they wouldn't have to have illegals coming up here, and it worked so well that we have more than ever. Nebraskans don't know where Nebraska. I couldn't point out Nebraska on that. It's the one that has that weird little dick on the side of it, right? It's like it's flat on top and then flat on the left side, and it's kind of jagged on the bottom, and it comes up. It looks like a tiny little dick with big long balls. That's Nebraska, right?
Most people would much
Wait,
rather
that's
stay
Oklahoma?
in the country they are.
That's Oklahoma. Did I get it wrong? Really? I told you I suck at geography.
If they can feed their...
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm an American. It's my God-given right not to give a shit what anything is.
People here can...
Oh, is Nebraska the one that's angled? It's got the two angles on it. It looks like somebody pushed the top over. That's Florida. No, I know what Florida is. I know the major ones. The middle of the country is the one that always gives me trouble.
There can improve their economic prospects at home instead of having to leave the United States.
How'd that work out?
Most people would much rather stay in the country they are if they can feed their families, be safe, send their kids to school, and have opportunity.
And most of that's not our problem. And even the safety one, the one that might kind of be an asylum thing, when you're talking about the safety, it's usually crime in their city, and that's not something that is the refugee thing. I'm sorry, it's just not. So fuck off. They always want to make everything our problem, but we're not allowed to have an opinion on anything else. The rest of the world treats America like we're their parents and they're little rebellious fucking, not even teenagers, like 23-year-olds living in our basement. You owe me money, Dad. Get out and get a job, prick.
It's not like people have heard me say it before. It's not like people are sitting around a table and somewhere in Central America and say, I got a great idea.
Oh, we watched this earlier. We watched this part of it the other night.
Sell everything.
Hang on. Let's back that up so you guys can hear. I'm going to let all of the stupid play on this.
Have opportunity. It's not like people have heard me say it before. It's not like people are sitting around a table and somewhere in Central America say, I got a great idea. Let's sell everything we have. Let's give it to a coyote, a smuggler. They'll take us on a harrowing journey for thousands of miles to get to the United States. Then we're going to legally cross the border. They're going to drop us in a desert, and we're a place where we don't speak the language. Won't that be fun?
Now, they might not say won't that be fun, but the rest of it is quite literally what happens. They're like, let's sell all of our shit, give it to this guy who's going to take us to America and just drop us off in the middle of nowhere. It's literally what happens. I don't know why at this point there should have been a reporter who went, excuse me, dumbass, that's what happens. But they don't, nah. They don't care about that, because why would they? Why would they ever question Joe?
I'm not being facetious.
No, you're being stupid.
Well, President Harris led this effort.
He just did it again. I made that joke. I haven't watched all of this. I didn't know he was going to do that. He just called her President Harris again. We have laws so people can come here illegally.
Led this effort to make things better in the countries from which they are leaving. And thanks to
And yet they're still coming. This is what's pissing me off about this. He's not acknowledging the fact that hundreds of thousands of people are coming to our border. These are just the ones we catch. These are just the ones we catch. 200,000, 160,000, 170,000. That's just the ones we catch. And he's acting, look how we've taken care of the problem. You ain't taking care of shit, motherfucker. Oh, it's millions. That's for the year, right? Because it's hundreds of thousands each month.
To her leadership, she's been able to generate more than $3.2 billion from the private sector to create jobs and opportunities in El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala.
But not Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela, or Nicaragua. The ones where you're saying all the people are coming from. 3.2 or 3.5, whatever it says, $1 billion for 3 countries. That might sound like a lot. It's really not. It's really not. Not for that many people, not for that many countries.
Tell people stay in their own countries, home countries, where it'll be safer and they have some opportunities. We've also set up a joint patrols and law enforcement with Mexico and Guatemala that share real-time information on locations that smugglers are using to convince migrant groups to cross illegally.
The Mexican government has literally printed out pamphlets telling their citizens how to come up here and where to go to get things. Oh, but we set up a thing to work with them in real time. This guy is a fucking idiot. I know I've said that already, and I'm repeating myself, but I feel like it needs driven home. And I do realize that he didn't write this speech. Thank you, Frank. Did he seriously call it a harrowing adventure? They're heroes for making the illegal journey. No, harrowing, Harrow. A very perilous journey. He might have mispronounced it, but that's what he meant.
That's what they're doing. They're out recruiting. They're taking all the savings or anything they have to take them on an incredibly dangerous journey.
Wait, how do coyotes bring people across? Their people are riding coyotes? Do you think anybody's going to write that about this speech?
We embedded our Border Patrol officers with Mexican patrols to detect and raid human smuggling operations. Thus far, there had more than 7,000 arrests of human smugglers in the last 6 months. 7,000. That's not.
Okay. How many are there? I mean, that sounds like a lot. I'll give him credit on that. That sounds like a lot. But one, this is what Mexico's number. Again, I don't trust them. They literally told people how to come up here. And two, if it's like drug dealing, which kind of sounds like it is, you take out these low-level guys and other low-level guys just pop up. Because the coyotes, the guys who are actually bringing them across, it's not the high level. There's people who run these operations. And if you take one of those out, another one's going to pop up. You know why? Because it's a lucrative enterprise. And they don't give a shit what happens to the people when they get them up here. Their job is just to get them here.
It's not just human smuggling at the border. We're focused on cracking down on drug smuggling, which is a serious and deadly promise.
Didn't we have a record number of fentanyl deaths in 2022? Weren't we on track to break the record from 2021? Good job, Joe. You're doing a real good job. I feel like your mom should put a little sticker on the fridge for you.
Problem, and I made a promise we would try this. My administration has allocated record funding that added hundreds of.
We're listening here to President Biden.
And then they go, no, why are you interrupting the fucking speech?
Biden discussing border security in this speech, or I should say, the speech comes.
Why are you interrupting this? You son of a bitch.
As the Supreme Court's deciding the fate of a pandemic-era expulsion policy known as Title 42.
That's right. The president has announced new steps designed to ease the number.
He's literally talking about it right now, and you cut him off. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Now I got to go find a different source of this. This is pissing me off. How far into? We're 13 minutes in. Oh, son of a bitch. What is this one? I need C-SPAN. They had to have covered this shit. WAPO. That only has 3 minutes. All right, this one looks like they have it all. Let's see. What were we at? 12:30? Is that what I said? I can't. I'm so pissed off right now. Okay, we heard that part. I'm so annoyed right now. All right, this is close to where we were. I'm pissed off. All right, I need to pause. Why in the fuck? Seriously, they're in the middle of the speech and they cut it off to tell you what he's talking about while he is in the middle of talking about it. Look, I may do that, but at least I pause the fucking speech so we can hear the whole fucking thing. Oh my God. I am mad. I am mad as a motherfucker right now. And this isn't about, being respectful. One, horribly disrespectful to the president of the United States. And again, you can hate the guy or whatever, but respect the office. But why the fuck are you cutting him off mid? Oh, son of a bitch. All right. We're a little back, but we're almost to where we were.
Recruiting, they're taking all the savings or anything they have to take them on an incredibly dangerous journey. We embedded our Border Patrol officers with Mexican patrols to detect and raid human smuggling operations.
Good job.
This has been, thus far, there had more than 7,000 arrests of human smugglers in the last 6 months.
Kamala looking like a fine, upstanding young man. More and more, she is looking a little manly. Look at that fucking Adam's apple that's coming out, man. You know what? That's not an Adam's apple though. That's from having wieners rammed down her throat. You'll notice that it's kind of rounded there, and then there's more. I mean, this is people going. I can go deeper than you did, and then right there at the bottom, it's little mushroom shape right there. Yeah, that's not an Adam's apple. That's a madam's apple. There you go. There you go. That's scar tissue is what that is.
7,000. That's not just human smuggling at the border. We're focused on cracking down on drug smuggling.
Good job.
Which is a serious and deadly promise.
Yeah.
Problem. And I made a promise we would try this. My administration has allocated record funding that added hundreds of additional Border Patrol agents and install new cutting-edge technologies you'll be able to use effectively.
Wait. Trump was an asshole for moving around the funding like that. You son of a bitch. How dare you? That funding was meant for something else. So Adam's apple's a space station. I'm telling you, that's scar tissue.
It's like an X-ray machine, detailed to be able to look through these large containers to determine what's in the container.
Didn't he have, wasn't there another under him, it's not an Adam's apple, it's a dick pouch. God damn, I love you people. Wasn't there another truck found under his administration with a whole bunch of dead people in it, or almost dead people? These people are just driving them right across the fucking border in trucks. Nobody's checking the trucks. Like, no, we got this cool X-ray machine so we can look inside of containers. You don't got to look in containers. Just open the fucking back door.
And at the border, for example, since August of last year,
Look how muscular her cheeks are. She had them muscular cheeks and the dick pouch right there. Get on with your bad self.
Border Patrol has seized more than 20.
She desperately wants to be president when they kick him out. Sorry, if you guys are listening to this, I'm so sorry. I was paying no attention. I was looking at Kamala. My bad.
And at the border, for example, since August of last year, Custom and Border Patrol have seized more than 20,000 pounds of deadly fentanyl.
That's great. It really is. 20,000 pounds of fentanyl seized by the Border Patrol. Good job, guys. Because you guys are horribly underfunded for the job that needs done down there. Especially with this asshole telling people to come, even though he's like, don't come. We have all kinds of free stuff for you, and we even made an app, but don't come. Which is also what Kamala is doing when she's got, never mind. 20,000 pounds sounds like a lot, but with the amount of drugs coming across the border, and by the way, he's going to say something really stupid here in a minute. The amount of drugs coming across the border and the number of people who are still dying from it. I get that you're trying, Joe, but you're missing a lot. You're missing a shit ton. Okay, I don't remember if we have to back this up. This is another clip that I saw. I know this part, so.
At the border. For example, since August of last year, Custom and Border Patrol have seized more than 20,000 pounds of deadly fentanyl. That's enough to kill as many as 1,000 people in this country.
Somebody's done the math on this, and I want to say it's enough to kill like half the planet. 20,000 pounds of fentanyl is enough to kill like 1 billion people or something like that. And it's 1,000 people. In Joe's world, 20,000 pounds of fentanyl will only kill 1,000 people. Just 1,000. You can do a shit ton of fentanyl apparently before it's deadly. And he's not telling us, the strength of the fentanyl either, because it does come in various strengths. That's enough to kill 20 George Floyds, right? Doug says 3.8 billion is, I think it was the number. Yeah, I know it was in the billions. Like, again, half the planet. What, there's 8 billion, almost 8 billion people on the planet? So, yeah. Dumbass Joe.
20,000 pounds of fentanyl.
Uh-huh.
It's a killer.
Yeah.
It's a flat killer. And next week, I'm going to travel to Mexico, where I'm going to meet with President Lopez Obrador.
Hang on real quick. Got a donation coming through over here. Yeah. The whole reason we're watching this is because he went down to the border and he's going to go meet with the Mexican president. And it's not going to matter. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Chaos One, thank you. Hiya, Monkey. Had some good news for once. Had. Then I joined in and heard this shitbag acting like he cares about those pores. You know, the ones they think are too dumb for their own good, so deserved what they got. Yeah, I hear you. And thank you, Chaos One, again. Who the fuck is taking 20 pounds of that? Look, man, 20 pounds of fentanyl is 19 pounds is okay. 19 and a half pounds is okay. But if you do 20, if you do 20 pounds of fentanyl, yeah, it's gonna floyd you, man. It really will. 20,000 pounds kills 1,000 people. You fucking retard. Is he fuck? Is he gauging by Hunter's drug tolerance? Maybe, perhaps.
We have a big agenda that ranges from the climate crisis to economic development and other issues. But
there is no climate crisis, okay? There's just not. For those of you who are finally waking up to, the way the government will lie to you, just flat out lie to you because of things like COVID, like the Twitter files, and all of this. They've been doing this to you all along with the climate crisis. We all joked about Fauci and I am the science, but they've done that same stupid shit with climate science all along. And this motherfucker, I don't know if he can give a speech without saying climate crisis. Thank you, John. Biden says something stupid. Let me find my shock. No, I know. But this is a whole line of stupid, if that helps.
one important part of that agenda is strengthening our border between our nations. And I will visit the border myself this Sunday in El Paso to assess border enforcement operations.
Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons here. Jesus Christ, I'm going to fire my fucking producer. I did not mean to stop sharing. I meant to pause, and then I muted myself instead of fixing the problem. Fuck me. I'm tired, you guys. And I took my last dose of medicine for the night, so I'm really tired. And I hit my head pretty hard earlier. I got real tired after I did that. I went and laid down for about 30 minutes just to try to settle my brain from going. Rrr. But anyway, well, let's back it up and let him talk so I can address
the border. That ranges from the climate crisis to economic development and other issues. But one important part of that agenda is strengthening our.
No, even if I had a concussion, a doctor won't do anything for me. It's not like I have okay, I'm going to say, it's not like I have an aneurysm. Worst case, I have a concussion. And if I have a concussion, all they're going to do is say, keep an eye on it. Because there's nothing they can do for a brain bruise. Yeah, concussion protocol. I won't be able to play in next week's game. Monkey on a drug-fueled rant. I mean, by that measure, I'm always ranting on a drug-fueled rant. He'll give you happy meds, probably not with the other shit that I'm taking. But even if I don't like those kind of drugs. Anyway, back to this.
Border between our nations. And I will visit the border myself this Sunday in El Paso to assess border enforcement operations.
Am I correct that this motherfucker has never been to the border before? If I'm remembering correctly, he's never gone to the border. This is his first time. He's been in Congress and the vice presidency and now the presidency for 50 fucking years. 50. And this is the first time he's gone to the border. And the only reason he's going to the border, the only fucking reason he's going, it's the same reason Kamala went. So he could say he did. So when people go, he's never been to the border, they go, he was there last week. He was there a month ago. He was there 6 months ago. Yeah, you finally went once, dick.
meet with the local officials and community leaders and the folks at the border sending me what they need that they don't have.
All right, fuck him. I don't want to hear any more of this shit. I will drop the link again to this one. Well, I guess not again because I didn't drop the link to this one. Here's this one. This is the USA Today version, so you don't have some jackass talking over it. By the way, hi, people over on Rumble. I'm sorry you guys get treated like the redheaded stepchild. It's just I have to be on the other screen so I can mute myself. Somebody told me I can get an app so I can see the Rumble. I can pop out the Rumble chat. I still need to look into that. But anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, fuck this guy. That's where we were. You can look up the Clinton speech if you want to. Just look up Bill Clinton immigration, because if you put Clinton immigration, you get Hillary. And if you want to see the Obama one, just Obama immigration, you can see those. But I wanted to talk about this story right here. It's from the Post, I believe. No, this is Fox News. My bad. Fox News. Texas Governor Abbott greets Biden with scathing letter as president visits border, emboldened by the cartels. Sunday's trip marks the first time the president has visited the border since taking office. I love that they put it's the first time since taking office. No. I mean, yes. If you mean when he became a senator, when he first got into that office, sure. But it's his first time visiting the fucking border. As President Biden arrived in Texas on Sunday for his first trip to the U.S.-Mexico border since taking office in the Senate, Republican Governor Greg Abbott hand-delivered a scathing letter to the president criticizing his border policies. In his letter, Abbott slammed the president's visit as $20 billion too little and 2 years too late. That's almost like how much fentanyl they found. What's up, P-Dog? He also noted that the president's tour avoids areas where mass illegal immigration occurs and sidesteps the thousands of angry Texas property owners whose lives have been destroyed by your border policies. Can we click this up to where we can actually read it? Oh, yeah, there we go. Dear President Biden, your visit to our southern border with Mexico today is $20 billion too late and 2 years too. All right, $20 billion too little and 2 years too late. I don't know why that keeps tripping me up. Yeah. Moreover, your visit avoids the sites where mass illegal immigration occurs and sidesteps the thousands of angry Texas property owners whose lives have been destroyed by your border policies. There is a picture of these two meeting. Unlike the one time he didn't ask him to stand up. For those of you who don't know, Abbott is in a wheelchair. And one time, Joe Biden asked him to stand. It was Abbott that he asked to stand, right? Even the city you visit has been sanitized of the migrant camps. Yeah, did you guys see that? They kicked out all the migrant camps from the area so Biden didn't have to look at them. They cleaned up the streets. They got rid of the little tent cities that had set up. Oh, God. Even the city you visit has been sanitized of the migrant camps, which had overrun downtown El Paso because your administration wants to shield you from the chaos. No, that's not true, but I'll finish reading real fast. Shield you from the chaos that Texans have to experience on a daily basis. That's not why they did it. They did it for the same reason they clean up anywhere that the president goes. It's so when they take pictures, there's not homeless people running around. That's why they do it. Because you got to make sure that when you take them pictures, it looks all clean and nice. So it's nobody shielding him from it. He doesn't give a fuck. This chaos is in direct result of your failure to enforce the immigration laws that Congress enacted. True. Under President Trump, the federal government achieved historically low levels of illegal immigration. I love that he keeps using the proper term. I mean, I would prefer it even better if he calls them illegal aliens somewhere in here. But it is illegal immigration. That's what it should be called. I'm tired of seeing it being called migration. They're migrants. Fuck off. No, Monk. I mean, he did, but you're probably thinking somebody else. I don't even remember what that's in reference to. I apologize. NFL predictions: AFC Chargers over Jags, Dolphins to upset the Bills, and Bengals to beat the Ravens. NFC Niners to beat Seahawks, Vikes to beat Giants, and Bucks to Brady the Cowboys. The Buccaneers are one of a couple of they're one of a couple of teams that snuck in with losing records. I think the Cowboys are going to kick the shit out of the Bucks. And the Chargers have a team that can beat the Jags, but it's the playoffs, so they probably won't. Although it is Herbert's first time in the playoffs, so maybe he'll shine instead of falling down like normal. Speaking of falling down, thank you, Stairs, who say, "You're two-timing hoe. You're supposed to fall down me." No, for the record, I fall down everywhere. Stairs are just the ones that are usually so bad that I actually have to mention it to you guys in case I start like seizing on stream. I don't know why. Dolphins over Bills. Can you send me some of what you're smoking? Here's the thing with the Dolphins and Bills. That is the Dolphins actually they can do that. They can beat them. I hope the Cowboys win, but Brady is a twat. He absolutely is. Scarfy, thank you so much. This is Han Dynasty 2.0 with childlike emperor and eunuch shadow government and all. I get what you're saying, but Biden would be on board with most of this shit if he had his brain. Just saying. Where are we? Under President Trump. Oh, yeah. Under your watch, by contrast, America is suffering the worst illegal immigration in the history of our country. Your open border policies have emboldened the cartels who grow wealthy by trafficking deadly fentanyl and even human beings. Texans are paying an especially high price for your failure, sometimes with their very lives, as local leaders from your own party will tell you if given the chance. All of this is happening because you have violated your constitutional obligation to defend the states against invasion through faithfully execution of federal law. True. I will defend against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's an invasion. Shio, thank you so much. Governor Abbott, you mean wheelie wheelie legs, no feely? Yes, that's who we're talking about. All of this is happening because halfway through your presidency, though, I can finally welcome you to the border. When you finish the photo ops in a carefully staged, managed version of El Paso, you have a job to do. You must comply with the many statutes mandating that various categories of aliens, thank you for using the aliens word, shall be detained and end the practice of unlawfully paroling aliens in mass. I love that they actually call their one program parole. Because it's basically what it is. Like, you have to come back. You go, but you have to come back later. And they actually named it that. They're fucking assholes. You must stop sandbagging the implementation of the Remain in Mexico policy and Title 42 expulsion and fully enforce the measures as the federal courts have ordered you to do. And all they do is drag their feet. Drag your feet and it doesn't matter. Yeah, but their QB is still in concussion protocol. His brain is more fucked up than yours. That's hurtful. That's hurtful. You must aggressively prosecute illegal entry between ports of entry and allow ICE to remove illegal immigrants in accordance with the existing federal laws. Not going to happen. You must immediately resume construction of the border wall in the state of Texas using the billions of dollars Congress has appropriated for that purpose. They never actually did that. I mean, they did some, but it was more to repair places that had already been broken. You must designate the Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. Hell yes, that should absolutely be done. On behalf of all Americans, I implore you, secure our border by enforcing Congress immigration laws. Sincerely, Greg Abbott, Governor. I love that he took this and gave it to him there. Do they have the picture? Yeah, they do, right there. That's the letter. Biden's probably saying, hey, stand up when you meet the president. But yeah, Abbott gave him a letter basically telling him he's an asshole. He's an asshole and he's caused all these problems. All right. A bunch of you are talking football. I like that. I like that. We haven't had a good football conversation in a while. I have an idea. We have a battle royale between the pedos and the illegal immigrants. We could call it aliens versus predators. We could do that, but we have to have like the winner still goes into somewhere else. They got to go somewhere else. So there it is, guys. Your president has finally gone down there for a photo op at the border. He didn't cry like AOC did. I was a little sad about that. But he did go down there. He walked the border after they cleaned it all up, so he didn't have to look at the dregs of society down there, the people he's actually talking about. You know, he was the poorest member of Congress forever, going all the way up until he left the vice presidency. And he grew up with the poor people there in Scranton, but he doesn't want to see them anymore. Like most politicians, they don't want to see the Skid Row areas. They don't want to see what's really going on out there. Because if they did, they might actually have a feeling. Be like, what is this? What is this going on in my chest? I feel horrible looking at these poor people. Yeah, they're not going to do that. The only time they want to see those people is when they're cutting the wall. All right. What is this up here? Thank you, Tyrai. Let me load it up. So that's a long one. I'm going to need that one over on the other screen. Fox News claimed Biden visited the border in 2008 while campaigning for Obama. They cleared the area for the president for security reasons, not just photo ops. Morning, monkey. Good morning, Tyrai. Bullshit. I hear you, and that's the excuse they use. Bullshit. The president is in compromising positions all the time, and the Secret Service could easily deal with any of this shit. You could just bring enough Secret Service with you. They just don't want the pores. They don't want Biden walking through an area where it is overrun with tents. There's pictures of where they clean this out. They don't want it overrun with tents and illegals laying all over the fucking ground, sleeping right there by the border. That would look bad for him and his administration. You know, it's not about the security risk. That's bullshit. Thank you, Cass One. No, see, the problem is if you talk to the people you serve and represent, they can tell you you're doing a bad job. Well, the reason or the way you deal with that is vote the motherfucker out. I hear you. But that's how you get rid of them. You vote them out. And yeah, you can tell them what a shitty job they're doing. But they have town halls and stuff for that. Sometimes. Every so often. I love all the AOC ones that she tried doing. It's just getting berated in them. And it was by her own side. That's the best part. In this last election cycle, she had, I think it was 2 different ones. I want to say 2. And in both of them, it was her own side telling her what a stupid bitch she was. It was funny as shit. If only the votes were fortified. I know, right? I know. Yeah. Tried voting, but the wokies win. Yeah, and it's going to be that way for a while. But, you know, somebody said to me the other day that they were envious of me. Mr. X said it on Twitter. And because I can deal with the political shit and it doesn't get to me. Sometimes it does, honestly. But I believe you can't give up. You can't. Because if you give up, losing is okay as long as you tried. Now, look, we're talking on a countrywide level, so and losing right now means giving in to the fucking groomers, giving in to the people who think it's okay to sexualize children, giving in to the people who think it's okay to have a book about how to have gay sex in a library for 12-year-olds. And I get that. But as long as you're trying, as long as you put in the best effort you can, I can't do much. I'm a cripple. I have my voice. That's all I have. And I use it to the best of my ability to expose this shit and mock this shit and hopefully change some hearts and minds out there. But if you just give up, how do you sleep with yourself? How do you look at yourself in the mirror? How do you just let it happen? Even if you know you're going to lose, how do you just let it happen? I just can't. It's not in me. It's not in me to give up. It's not in me to just let them have it. If they want it, they got to work for it. They got to keep pushing their shit. And look, they're going to win right now. Because at this moment, they control everything. And if you look at like, oh no, the Republicans control the House. Yeah. But the Republicans are just as woke as anyone else. They talk a good game. They talk a good game about it. But the only ones who are actually doing anything are on the state level. You know, you have governors like Abbott and DeSantis out there. They're doing things on the state level. They're standing up to it. But you know what would happen if one of those two got elected? They're gonna do the same thing. They'll be like, oh no, we have to be nice. We gotta be nice to the trans people. Well, yeah, we gotta be nice to them, but we don't have to change society for them. We don't have to fucking ruin children for them. These pride flags going up in every fucking classroom. I was watching the Hodge twins on their YouTube channel the other day, and they had this teacher who came out to her kids. Guess how old the kids were? I'm going to give you guys a second. Guess how old the students were that she came out to on the last day of school. She was so worried. She was very worried that they were going to judge her harshly. But one of them got up and said, "Everybody give the teacher a hug." And they ran up and hugged her. Did you guys watch the video? Too many of you got that. Yeah, they were 4 and 5. 4 and 5. And when their teacher came out to them as trans, one of them got up and said, "Everybody give the teacher a hug." Yeah, that happened. And she felt the love, and it was just so, it was embarrassing watching this shit. And they're doing this to kids. Kids. It's indoctrination. That's all it is. Why the fuck are you coming out to your students? Because they don't have friends. Because they don't have friends. This is indoctrination. Look, kids are very easily swayed. Very easily swayed. Kids are so easily swayed that we had to change the rules advertisers were allowed to use to make their ads that they showed when kids are watching TV. Like, oh, we got to be very careful what the kids see. Yeah, very impressionable. Exactly, Foreign. We got to be careful what they see. Malleable. That's the word I was looking for, Faithless. Thank you. Malleable. We got to be careful what they see. We got to be careful on YouTube. YouTube got fucking sued by the federal government because they were getting the kids' information. Well, why were they getting the kids' information? For the ads. We got to be careful with those ads too, because we have rules. Why do we have rules? Kids are impressionable, but not when it comes to showing them guys sucking dick. Suddenly, then it's like, what? It's just this won't put anything into their head. Having a grown ass man dress up and like a fucking whore and read to them, that's not going to do anything to them. It's just going to teach them to be tolerant. Having a book, Susie Has Two Mommies, or whatever the fuck it was called, that's not going to in any way. No. That's not going to affect them. But if they see toys that are playing with each other and the background looks too extravagant, then it's going to be an issue because they'll think that they're going to get all of that stuff with that one little toy. Thank you, Scarfy. Pippa called this inspiration porn, emphasis on porn. Who's Pippa? Thank you for the donation. It's fucking disgusting is what it is. I really have to shave my mustache. I'm tired of it getting wet every time I take a drink. It's way too long. How do you guys with big ass beards and mustaches do this shit? That's annoying. I'm gonna have to get a straw. Because pedos have infiltrated the government. They've infiltrated everything. You know what? Somebody sent me or had tweeted out the video of Snatched. Episode 3 of the MIGTOW videos that I made. Unfortunately, episode 1 and 2 had to be taken down because they would be a violation of YouTube rules right now. I still have them on a hard drive, but they had to be taken down. The only one that's still left is episode 3, Snatched. But because of that, I watched it. I don't normally watch my videos. God damn, I'm stiff in that video. I forgot how stiff I used to be on mic. But I was like, I wonder how I sounded on some of my other videos. So I went and watched a couple of them. And one of the ones I watched was SJWs are winning. It's not even still winning. I said SJWs are winning. We don't call them SJWs anymore. We call them woke. We call them wokies. And they're the same fucking people. They're the same fucking people. And everything I said in there is absolutely right. It's it was annoying to me. It was annoying to me that 5 years ago, that video was 5 years ago, that you could see this. You could see it, that they were infiltrating everything. Even I didn't think we were going to get to the point where they were pushing sex on kids. Even that, I didn't realize we were going there. But that's where we are. And it is an extension of what we saw back then. It's what all of this goes back to the SJW days, which actually goes back to the politically correct days. It's all the same shit. And they're indoctrinating children with this crap. They've done it with feminism. They've done it with racism. They've done it with everything. And it's all the wokey side. And you're going to hate me for this, but they're smart because they know kids are where you need to go. Why? Because they are impressionable. They are malleable. It is easy to get them on your side. And they're doing it while saying, no, this isn't going to cause any problem. They know it is. They know it is. And it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. I got in an argument with an idiot today. There's an article, I'm not making this up, about Downsy drag queens. Downsy drag queens. They've even pushed this shit onto retarded kids. Actually, I think this person is a little older, but they look like they're 16 or 17. I didn't actually read the article because I've seen this before. It's not the first time I've seen the retarded kids doing the drag stuff. And I said that, they push this shit on kids. Why is anybody surprised they push it on retarded people? And this guy came back, hey, the church, they indoctrinate kids. I'm like, why are you defending the sexualization of kids? And he came back with this. Oh, they do that on the child pageants. Like, nobody's defending child pageants. I've never heard anybody defend child pageants. I'm sure there are a couple people because the pageants are still out there, but they're fucking gross. And I've never heard anybody in my circle of friends or the kind of people that I watch, I've never seen anybody, oh no, child pageants are great. They all say the same thing. It's crap. That's shit. This shouldn't happen. Dangerous, exactly. He's comparing it to these things that he thinks are bad, but for some reason it's good for his. I'm like, you're fucking degenerate. Why are you defending the sexualization of children? That should never be a thing that you should be doing. Jesus fucking Christ. They have child drag queens out there who go on stage and men stuff money in their horribly hoary outfits. There was a pro drag queen for kids thing video going around the other day. A 16-year-old from Australia, and what was the other one from? I forget. And it's presented in a way, look how cool this is. It's 16-year-olds having grown men shove money at them for dressing and dancing like whores. What the fuck? Varen, I can see your comment over here. I don't know why I can't see it on Twitter. I'm not blocking any comments for the record, but that is weird how I see one over here and not over there. Apparently, YouTube is blocking some of the comments. I apologize for that. It's not me. I have no censorship on my channel in that manner. Look, that doesn't mean you can say anything. If you say certain things, we do have to kind of bop you, but on the rules here, we have to, give you a little timeout because we can get in trouble for what you guys say. So, but we rarely have that problem. It's disgusting to me. And frankly, the Republicans, I don't have any hope for them. I really don't. Even in the House, they got the House. They got the House. Fuck you. They're still all into the diversity, equity, inclusion bullshit, the DIE, which I still say they should change the E and the I around, because die is what this country is going to do, and they keep pushing this shit. Ebony, thank you so much. I got into an argument with an idiot today. You got to make merch of this phrase. You're right. I really should. Jack told me I need to push my store more because I looked at it and nobody's bought anything since October for the monkey shirt or the monkey lantern shirt. I just forget to do it. It's down in the description if you guys want to see it. The Teespring store is down there. There's some good shirts down there already. Oh man. You'd think if you bought people regularly, Cryptic, Frosted, or myself will be regulars. Well, you guys know where the line is, and I appreciate that. If you guys ever cross the line, it's usually over on Streamlabs, and I appreciate that a lot. I really do. Working with kids, we had a training about how to spot grooming, etc. Made me want to peel my own skin off. Yeah, and groomer is overused right now. It just absolutely is. People they throw groomer out everywhere. There are legitimate groomers or people legitimately defending groomers. So please don't overuse that word. But there's also a ton of people who are out there misusing the word, kind of desensitizing people to it. Grooming is disgusting. And there's a ton of it going on. And that shit needs to be called out. But not everybody who's one of these assholes is a groomer. Some of them are just assholes. So please be careful. Maps are real. Maps are absolutely real. And they are infecting every social media platform. There was a story the other day that, Twitter still hasn't taken care of their child sexuality problem. Well, they've done a lot more than anybody else has. They need to take care of it all. They need to just dig in there and find a way to fix that shit. But they're the only ones who are even trying. Try to report the dirty shit that goes on YouTube. Good luck. And man, years ago, they didn't even have a thing for child abuse on there. They didn't even have a way to report child abuse. calling people groomers is funny, Monkey. I hear you, but it's an important word right now. I understand. Yeah, it can be funny. Use simp or cuck or something else for it. Degenerate's my favorite word for these people. I think that word's funny. But groomer has a meaning, and we cannot desensitize people to it. We already have. I mean, you have that Caballero chick who wore a shirt with the, what does it say? Proud to be a groomer or something like that, and made a video or maybe it was a tweet. We're going to take back the grooming word. Take back grooming. What the fuck are you talking about? She actually did it. I don't know if it's still up on Twitter, but that is an absolutely true thing that happened. We're going to take it back. No. We need that word so we can find the actual fucking groomers, the people who are trying to get kids to fuck them. Teachers. Yeah, there you go. There's a good word for it. Oh, fuck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up here. Holy shit, did I really talk for 2.5 hours? Fuck me. And I didn't even let Joe talk much through that. This is almost all me. What do we do, 14 minutes of his video? Shit. No wonder my voice sounds so bad. I'm still going to do a game stream, so whew. By the end of this, man, you're barely going to be able to hear me. Anyway, guys, I sincerely want to thank you for coming and hanging out tonight. I know we were at a really late time tonight, so I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for the donations. You guys are very kind, very kind. If you have rich relatives, have them come watch the show. Is that a good way to shill? I don't know. I don't know how to shill. I'm not good at it. Jeff Holliday's trying to take back grooming. He used it for popular right-wing creators. Yeah, sounds like something he'd do. Good job taking back groomers. You should be really proud of yourself for that shit. Yeah. Let's take back a word about people who are trying to get children to fuck them. That's great. Good on you. There you go. There's a clap for you, Jeff. Fucking degenerate. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. I love y'all so much. I'm going to be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey here in just a little bit. Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. The link is in the description. Tons of stuff down there. The Teespring stores. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Shit. I meant to do this earlier. I got a donation when I was offline. I need to find that. You know, I don't know if you want me to say the name that's on here, but thank you so very much for the donation over on the PayPal. All of those links are in the description. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Everybody have a wonderful night. I love y'all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Joe Biden is a fucking idiot. Kamala Harris likes to suck cock. I don't know where that song's going, so we're just going to end it.